Supplemental. When you have the headphones on, echo. No echo without headphones. Okay. All right, we're moving on. Let's get into your national days of the week. Beginning with mañana, domani, tomorrow, it's National Fudge Day. Who amongst you does not enjoy the fudgy of the fudgiest? I like fudge. And I've been to places that only do fudge. And I got to tell you, when you go to a place that only does fudge, I don't like it so much. I'm not that big of a fan to places that only do fudge. I tried to do something and completely messed that up. There we go. But I like fudge, but it's kind of on a random, like, here's some fudge. Oh, thank you. I like this. Versus, here's a place where you can peruse all of our fudge and buy whatever you want. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Give me the random fudge on Monday, June 16th. National Fudge Day. Oh, and I won't eat your fudge, by the way. I've been a sailor for way too long. If you were to randomly just bring me some fudge, I would thank you, but I would not eat it. Yep, that's the way it is. All right, moving on to Tuesday. Get it together. Moving on to Tuesday, June 17th. It's National Eat Your Vegetables Day. I don't really think we need a day to tell us when to eat our vegetables. Vegetables? Vegetabilis. Vegetabilise. You don't need a day to eat your vegetables. You should always eat vegetables. Vegetables are good for you. Do not think, though, for a moment that you can eat an ungodly amount of vegetables and get away with it. They will still punish you calorically if you allow them to. June 17th. It's a Tuesday. It's National Eat Your Vegetables Day. Milk, lemonade, around the corner fudge is made. Milk, lemonade, around the corner fudge is made. Yes, always, always timely with the childish monikers that reminded us. Eat your dang veggies, he says. Moving on to Wednesday, June 18th. It's National Go Fishing Day. And for those of you who have the ability to go fish, and I'm not talking about the card game, I'm talking about the actual entrapping of the pescaderi, to put a line in the water and with a bait on it, and then catch the fish, and then bring the fish in, and then, and this is the most important part for those of you who can, take the fish off the hook. I got some trauma in mañana. I got some trauma in the cabeza. I got issues. No surprise there. Once upon a time, I was fishing with my father. That sounds like an incredible thing, right? An amazing memory shall be made fishing with my papa. But he caught a gar. And I don't know if you know what a gar is, but basically it's a bunch of teeth connected to a creature. And he held the mouth open with a pair of pliers and told me to grab that hook. And I was a very obedient child. I did what my father demanded. I reached into the jagged teeth of the fish, and I grabbed the hook, at which point he let go of the pliers and allowed this creature to nom 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 on me, forever terrifying me of fish. Any live fish terrifies me. Terrifies me. To the point that my friend, my best friend, one of my best friends in the world, Jack O'Brien, he tried to fix me, man. He tried his best to make me right. He would like little bitty, not goldfish, but tiny little fish that you can use for bait. He would try to have me grab them, and I would just be pouring in sweat, and I could go as far as like touching the fish, but then I would just lose it. I would almost vomit. Yeah, I would love to go fishing with you on National Go Fishing Day, Wednesday, June 18th. But if I go fishing with you, you have the obligation of taking the fish off the hook. You have to do it. I can't. It'll stay there, or I'll sling it and beat it off the hook. Yeah, don't do that to me. Let's not do that together. Moving on. Thursday, June 19th, it's Juneteenth, which means everybody gets the day off because it's a make-believe federal holiday. It's a holiday that was established because not everybody got the news. So Abraham Lincoln crashed the party at the nomination of the Gettysburg Cemetery. In Gettysburg, he's like, if y'all don't mind, I sure would like to talk at your funeral dedication, or cemetery dedication. And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever, dude. You know, you're the president. If you want to speak, you can speak. And he was not the headliner. There was a guy before him who spoke for like an hour and 45 minutes at a cemetery dedication. It's too long. Anyway, the dude talked about it for a long time. And then he's like, apparently the president's got something to say. So Abraham Lincoln steps up at the ceremony, making the Gettysburg Cemetery a thing. And he speaks for 2 minutes. He does this little thing called the Emancipation Proclamation. And no one remembers the guy that bloviated before him. But the Emancipation Proclamation was put out to say all of y'all's is free. But apparently somewhere down in Texas, they didn't get that message until June 19th, a couple years later. And for some stupid reason, we're celebrating that their mail was slow. We don't celebrate the actual day that all of the slaves were freed. We celebrate the day when a couple of slaves finally got notified that they were free. I don't know if you know, I'm not a fan of Juneteenth. I believe if we're going to celebrate that day, it should be done on the day where all of the slaves were freed, not when a few of them got a late notice. Just to let y'all know, yous be free. We've all been free, but yous be free too. That is Thursday, June 19th, Juneteenth, which is also a stupid name. It's a stupid name. Moving on to June 20th. If you're a federal employee, it's probably another day off because you take an extra day, you take 8 hours, and you get a whole 96. Yeah, my entire shop is going to be empty on Friday, Juneteenth +1, but that only makes it available for us. Oh, curses. It's National Take Your Dog to Work Day. Now, I have done the paperwork. I have proven that my dog is a service animal and an emotional support animal because I have gone online and for free done the paperwork. No training required. All I did was get some fake paperwork for my dog, but it's real. I could take him anywhere. And if anybody questions me, is that a service animal? It is. It is a service animal. Mind your business, son. He's a service animal. He's an emotional support animal. And by the way, all dogs are emotional support animals. That's what they do. They provide emotional support. Friday, June 20th, it's National Take Your Dog to Work Day. Saturday, June 21st, is National Take a Selfie Day. I grew up in a time when selfies were not a thing. And that's not necessarily true. I would climb mountains. And when I got to the top of the mountain, I would take my camera and I would face it at me and take a couple of pictures, guesstimating where I was on the top of the mountain. And in frame, I was taking selfies before selfies were a thing, okay? But now with the cell phones, everybody takes selfies. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of jealous in the fact that I, throughout my life, have met a lot of famous people. And meeting all of these famous people, I should have photographic proof that I met them and hung out with them and talked to them and dealt with them, but I don't. Because selfies were not a thing. They weren't a thing. And because they weren't a thing when I was growing up, they're not really a thing as I grew up. I was recently at a retirement ceremony for a great friend of mine. And there were a lot of people there that I should have taken pictures with, but the adult in me didn't allow for the selfie request. So there it is. Saturday, June 21st, is National Selfie Day. Take a picture. Sorry, reading comments below. All right, and finally, it's Sunday, June 22nd. It's National... Sorry, let me try that again. Sunday, June 22nd. It's National Onion Ring Day. My friend Danny Johnson has a wonderful joke about finding an onion ring in your French fries at Burger King. It has stuck with me for years. I love Danny Johnson. If you don't know who Danny Johnson is, I challenge you to look him up on the internets there. He's a very funny man. He tells very funny stories. He has done the Dry Bar, which is a comedy club where nobody's drinking, but he killed it there. And Danny sticks out. Danny pops into my mind a lot. I think about him a lot. And whenever I'm having an onion ring, like for instance on June 22nd, Sunday, National Onion Ring Day, I would think of my friend Danny, who I don't have any selfies with. He's also an author. He's wrote a book. You should check him out. Danny Johnson, very funny guy. Check him out on National Onion Ring Day. And that's that. That is your national days of the week. I do not have, and I have searched. And again, if you've got anything you want me to promote, you have to tell me, and I will. I challenge you. You caught that, did you? I love you, Mr. Taney. I love the fact that you get my references so often. So I go out of my way. I try to find things that are happening in and around the greater Harrisburg metropolitan area to tell you about. There is nothing going on. So the best I can do is tell you that if you got a little time, energy, and money left over at the end of payday, please help the Speranza Animal Rescue. Now, you don't have to tell them that we sent you their way. You don't have to tell them anything. But they're a great organization of volunteers that does things to help animals who are, helpless. They're poor little helpless animals. So Speranza Animal Rescue is their default. whenever I don't have anything to promote, whenever there's not a fire department cooking chicken somewhere, I'm going to tell you about Speranza Animal Rescue. That's located here in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. And if you're online and you're in the Americas, you can donate to them without having to go there. You can just do it online. Look them up on Facebook. Speranza, the Italian word for hope, Animal Rescue. And if you're my Spanish listeners, two things about my Spanish listeners. There is a comedy show going to be happening this week where they talk about suicide. Our friend Eric Knowles is one of the performers that's in this. And if you don't think it can be done, you're wrong. You can have fun talking about suicide. The most important thing to remember when it comes to suicide is it is a permanent solution to what is usually a temporary problem. Somebody doesn't like you, somebody's upset with you, you commit suicide. That is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If any of those things are true, let me just give you this pre-suicidal advice. It's going to be all right. No matter what it is, it's going to be all right. I promise you. If the woman of your dreams leaves you today, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Time heals all wounds. But suiciding yourself negates the opportunity for that to happen. So don't kill yourself. Now, if you want to see that done in a funnier way, they're going to be at the old movie theater there in Rota, Spain this week. There are flyers and information available, and I will share that in the comments. Our friend Eric Knowles, one of the veterans of comedy, he's going to be one of the performers. I think there's 4 of them, and they're talking about not killing yourself in a way that's funnier than what I just did. Moving on. Kevorkian, hilarious. They got the new Kevorkian shells now. There's countries that encourage suicide. Canada is one of them. Finland is another, and now they've got this capsule that you get inside and you push the button and it sucks all the oxygen out of it, and you supposedly die an easy death. But what if you change your mind? We're going to talk about suicide just a little bit longer. A lot of people who attempt suicide, specifically jumping off bridges. There's a study that's done on all of these people, the people that have survived suicide attempts by jumping off bridges, in particular the Golden Gate Bridge. You can survive. All of them say the moment their hands left the rail, they instantly regretted their decision. Not when they hit the water. Not when they impacted the water. But the moment their hands left the rail, they regretted their decision. So again, as T-Bone's reminder to anyone that's thinking about suicide, number one, give me a call. Give me a call if you're thinking about committing suicide, and I'll tell you it's going to be all right. I'll remind you it's going to be all right. That time heals all wounds. Whatever it is, it's going to be all right. Unless you're terminally ill. And as unpopular as this statement is, I kind of understand the desire to go out on your own terms when you are terminally ill. But on the same note, that if you're terminally ill, I've known people that were given 6 months to live and they survived another 6 years. So terminally ill might not necessarily be terminally ill. I don't know what just happened there, but I got a whole bunch of likes on something I said. Thank you. All right, here we go to the fan favorite portion of the show. This Week in History, a trivia style. Again, there are 7 questions based on this week in history past. There are 7 questions. Our goal is to go 7 for 7. That's what we try to do. I do not know the answers to the questions. I am a competitor just like you. Together, at the end, we will find out if we are right or wrong. You keep your own score. You hold yourself accountable, because I'm not going to do that for you. On June 8th, 1949, what classic dystopian novel by George Orwell was published in the UK? And I'm putting my hand up over here to block that screen from being seen by me, because I know the answer to this without looking at my multiple choice options. I don't need to see my multiple choice options. The name of the book is the same as the name of a very awesome, I'm looking this way, a very awesome album by Van Halen. For those of you who don't know the answer, let me give you the question once again. It's June 8th, 1949. What classic dystopian novel by George Orwell was published in the UK? Mr. Taney's going to go with Animal Farm. That is one of the options available to us. Not the guess. Yeah. And then he changes it. You're not allowed to change your answer, sir. But we do allow him to change his answer all the time. Because, there are no prizes. Animal House, Robert goes with, which is a much funnier answer. Brave New World is option number 1. Option number 2 is 1984. Option number 3, Fahrenheit 451. And finally, Animal Farm. Robert's going with 1984. James is going with 1984. Carl has left us, which makes me sad. Stacy has not joined us, and nothing from the TikTok audience. The TikTok audience is so fun. It's so fun that they just pop in and pop out so quickly. So there are our answers, 1984 and 1984. I agree that it is Van Halen's best album, 1984. Question number 2. June 9th, 1973. What racehorse became the first Triple Crown winner in 25 years, winning the Belmont in 31 links? Oh, by 31 links. Holy crap. I am blocking out the possibility of answers because I think I know what the answer is, but I had no idea that it won by 31 lengths. A length is the length of a horse. He was 31 horses in front of the other horses when he won the Triple Crown on June 9th, 1973. What was the name of the horse? Here are your options. Was it War Admiral? Was it Citation? Was it Secretariat? Or was it Seabiscuit? Robert gets an extra point for correctly spelling Secretariat before the option became available. James also calls for Secretariat. I am also going to go with Secretariat. But 31 links is a huge lead. Huge. So huge. All of our answers are locked in. Moving on to question number 3. On June 10th, 1692. A little far back in the Wayback Machine. In the Salem witch trials, who became the first person executed for witchcraft? Here's a hint. It's a woman. Here's another hint. She wasn't an actual witch. None of the witches that were persecuted during the Salem witch trial were actual witches. They were just women who fell on the wrong side of history, because the woman in charge of calling out the witches was a word that rhymes with witch. You know what I'm saying? You got me? You hear me? Here are your options. The first woman executed in the Salem witch trials, was it Sarah Good, Bridget Bishop, Giles Corey, Helen Keller, that's freaking hilarious, or Rebecca Nurse? Who was the first woman executed in the Salem witch trials on June 10th, 1692? Sarah Good, Bridget Bishop, Giles Corey, or Rebecca Nurse? The thing is, if it was a man, we'd probably know this answer. It is a complete random guess for me. I have no idea who the first woman was that was murdered for supposedly being a witch. I have no idea. But I think the last name Good is hilarious. If you're being accused of being a witch and you're murdered because you're a witch, if your last name is Good, I think that's poetic, very poetic. Mr. Taney agrees with me. He's going with Sarah Good. Robert hasn't answered yet. Maybe he doesn't know his options. Oh, he's going with Good also. Okay, so we're all saying Good. So far, 3 questions in, we're all saying the same thing. Question number 4. June 11th, 1963. Alabama Governor George Wallace attempted to block the integration of what university? I have performed with George Wallace on more than one occasion, and I think it's a great joke that nobody gets. Ladies and gentlemen, he sure has changed since he was the governor of Alabama. Please welcome to the stage Mr. George Wallace. And then George Wallace comes out, and he is not the former Alabama governor. But the former Alabama governor, George Wallace, tried to block integration on June 11, 1963, as featured in the movie Forrest Gump. What university was he trying to stop the integration of? Was it Auburn University? Was it the University of Georgia? Was it the University of Alabama? Or was it Ole Miss? Well, if you know anything about George Wallace, you know he was the governor of Alabama. So you could take Georgia and Ole Miss out of the situation. So you got 2 options. It was either Auburn or Alabama. Now, I lived in Alabama for a period of time, and I can tell you they take their football seriously down there. They sure don't like Auburn, or they don't like Alabama. They like one or the other. That is a true statement. I think we're all going with the University of Alabama. Robert with the Roll Tide, Mr. Taney with a funny joke about rolling tide. Yeah, I think we're all going with the University of Alabama. So far, out of 4 questions, we're all saying the same thing. Interesting. On June 12, 1987, Ronald Reagan gave his infamous speech, "Tear down this wall." In what city? I don't need to look at the answer. I put my hand up to avoid seeing the answers. Ronald Reagan said famously, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." What city was he in when he said that on June the 12th, 1987? I can tell you this. I've been there. I have been there after the wall came down. I took an amazing photo of my gorgeous wife leaning against the wall that remains. Most of it's been torn down. Mr. Taney answers with Berlin. And here are your options. Was it Washington, D.C., which would be hilarious? Like he was speaking at the Vietnam Memorial. Tear down this wall. Berlin, London, or Vienna. Washington, D.C., Berlin, London, or Vienna. Robert pipes in, James pipes in. We all say the same thing. We are all saying Berlin. We will all most assuredly hang together because we are all saying the same thing. Next question. June 13th, 1966. What landmark Supreme Court decision ruled that detained suspects must be informed of their rights? I don't need to see because I know the answer. I know the answer so much, I'm going to take the time to educate you. Here are your options. Was it Roe v. Wade? Was it Miranda v. Arizona? Was it Gideon v. Wainwright? Or was it Brown versus Board of Education? I'm not giving you the answer. I'm just going to talk about the case without saying the case's name. The person in question in this landmark decision was a murderer. He was not informed of his rights. That is correct. That is correct. All right, everybody knows the answer. It is Miranda versus Arizona. So Miranda is a murderer. And the Supreme Court says, well, it doesn't matter if you're a murderer. You should be informed of your rights to remain silent, to request an attorney, to not speak until an attorney is present. You should be informed of your rights to that. And if you are not informed, well, then anything you say, we throw it out. And Miranda, a murderer, was let go. But because murderers be doing murdering things, turned out Miranda himself later gets murdered. And the officers who arrested the suspect who murdered Miranda laughed when they said, you're going to believe this, but I got to read you your rights that are named after that guy. Your Miranda rights. Life is funny. So, yeah, we all agree it was Miranda v. Arizona. Finally, the last question of the week. June 14th, 1777. The U.S. adopted its national flag on this day. How many stars did the first flag have? Bonus points when we add Greenland and Canada. Where are we going to put the extra 2 stars? June 14th, 1777. The U.S. adopted its national flag on this day. How many stars did the first flag have? By the way, if you think the first flag was made by Betty White, that's not right, is it? Who is the person that's attributed with Betty White? I love her to death, but I don't think she was around in 1777. Who was the woman accredited with creating the American flag? Betty Crocker? Betty something. Doesn't matter. She didn't do it. It was a propaganda perpetuated by her son. Mr. Taney pops in with 13. And I haven't even read the multiple choice options yet. Robert pops in with 13. I am also saying 13. Here are your multiple choice options. 13, 7, 20, 50. As always, if you have a question and you don't know the answer, get rid of the highest and the lowest, right? So we get rid of 7, we get rid of 50, we got left 20 and 13. Now 20 is a stupid number. Betsy Ross, that's it. Yeah, she didn't really make the flag. Thank you, James. If you get rid of the 2 because you've taken an exam from me, creating the false answers is usually a challenge for anybody that writes an exam. So if it has a number thing, it's easy. Just get rid of the highest and the lowest number, which we did here, which is 7 and 50. That gives us 2, 13 and 20. And 20 is a stupid number. I go with 13. So you guys went with 13. Here it is. We have all said the same thing. Oh, shoot. I never set up the Mevo. I got the Mevo working, in case you missed out on the booger picking episode. Now we're going to ask AI to, yes, please give us the answers. And yes, I said please when I'm talking to AI because I want them to remember that I was one of the good ones when they take over. Here we go with your answers. Again, we will all hang separately. We will all die separately, or we most assuredly will hang together. Whatever the phrase is. Oh, look at all them likes. Thank you so much. Question number 1. The answer was 1984. Question number 2 was Secretariat. And again, 31 links is amazing. I really want to watch that race. I want to watch that race. Because the other horses had to be doped. They had to be drugged. Something. Question number 3, we all got wrong. Womp, womp, womp. For future posterities, if you are ever asked, you can now say with most assurity, it was Bridget Bishop. She was the first person executed as a witch during the Salem witch trials. Bridget Bishop. Lock it in. Now you know. Now you know. Ma'am, you dropped your books. Was at the University of Alabama, where George Wallace tried to stop them black children from entering the college. So, yeah, we all answered Alabama. Yeah, we got them all. I think we got them all right. Berlin, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall, was said in Berlin, obviously. Miranda versus Arizona was also a correct answer. And 13 was the correct answer. I'm going to say 6 out of 7 ain't bad, okay? You're smart people. I don't know about the Scarlet Letter. I feel like I need to watch that now. But Bridget Bishop screwed us all. I'm glad they executed her. And that's it, man. It was a great day. Thank you so much. I love it when you participate. I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you can be. And if you were a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow. Chick Bruce sends her love. And new episode of the Lens B Show will be taped later this evening. So with that being said, hasta luego, amigos. And that ends it.